Well, this is Guns, Knives, Watches, and I have some new products that came in from the Pathfinder store. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I have a strong background in optics, and this was the original magnifying glass that they had sold on the Pathfinder store the last couple of years. It's a 6 power. The only problem with the 6 power is under anything but the most extreme lighting conditions, people were having some kind of problem, and I don't know what their problem was, but they couldn't get things to ignite, except for maybe possibly char cloth. Well, the Pathfinder store got a new magnifying glass, and it is a 7 power. And not only is it a 7 power, which has a shorter focal point, it's also larger, which means it collects more light and gets it to that focal point. So this ought to produce a hotter spot than this one. One other thing that I got from the Pathfinder store is that their sail needle. This is a very large sail needle. If anybody knows, my hand's a pretty good size, and that sail needle is almost the size of my hand with the width of it, and I'm sure with the bank line, this, there, or the other, that'll sew something rather quick. I watched Dave do it on one of his videos. I don't have a use for anything like that. I just wanted to get one just to experience it. It was only $4. So in case one of these days down the road I ever do have a need for something like that, I'll have it. But those are these products, and they're both really great products executed properly, this, there, or the other. The finish on the needle is a little, not the best in the world, but that's just the way manufacturing is nowadays. You can't expect a big stainless steel needle made the way we used to make them in the United States a long time ago. Let me talk about this Kydex Sheath, though. If anyone who has ever seen my videos knows that I am not subservient to anyone in the industry, and I try to give it exactly the way I get given it. So, this is the Mora Bushcraft Black. Of course, my Mora Bushcraft Black is black there and not there. That's because I actually sharpen my knives. If you ever want to use them, my recommendation for you is to learn how to sharpen them. Scanty grind knives are very, very easy to do, and scanty. But anyway, that refers back to something else. Now, let's talk about some of the things I really like about the sheath. The sheath is made out of Kydex. The sheath has a good belt clip on it that you can easily get on your belt. Possibly not so easy to get off, but easy to get on. I mean, I would not have done anything different about this. Left-handed, right-handed carry. 2 screws, changes it from left to right. Rivets done properly. The finish on the outside isn't necessarily, very good, but this is a tool. It's not, it's not a beauty contest. Now, there's one quick fix that you can do to this sheath, if you have it, that I would recommend everyone do, and that is take the inside of this and basically go over it with sandpaper. And I'll give you just a quick demo. Just take a little piece of sandpaper, knock off that inside edge. It's going to take a little more sanding than that, but don't go overboard. It takes very little. As if you can see mine. Try to get it to focus. Focus, damn it, focus. That is how much of the edge I took off. Not much at all. The reason I did that was the Mora Bushcraft Black has, of course, a rubber handle. When you slide in there, that rubber handle is running against that inside of that sheath, and that's the bearing surface. And this knife has been in and out of that sheath very few times, and it's wearing the rubber off. So that's a downside. So for an EDC sheath, I don't know if this one will actually work. And people will come back and go, but you have the lock halfway on. No, actually I don't. let's get into the next problem with the knife. Either the person that put the lock there didn't understand the way these locks work, or I got a defect. Now I know that because I cut off the actual, or I took off the little ferrocerium rod holder and ground that screw down, that basically I null and voided my warranty because I modified it. But let me tell you, whoever did that kind of work wouldn't be working with me, which you know, very few people actually make it to what I believe is quality work. Now let me tell you why I just said that. The way this belt loop, or belt, yeah, the belt loop's actually made on there. You see how if I slide this down anymore, and it's going to take some force because I have to deform the sheath, that it actually causes the sheath to bow. Puts a big crook in it. Now, slide it back up to there. Da da da. Now, the reason I say that that lock is not on even in that position is because the amount of force to take the knife in and out in that position, and I'm doing this on camera looking through a viewfinder, so I'm very delicate, is the same as the amount of force there. And I'll show you why. It's a little bit different, but not much. Now, let's watch the Kydex Spread. Okay. Now, let's move the lock down. Oops, too far. Okay. Now watch the Kydex Spread. Of course, it puts a little more force on it, just because that's the nature of the beast. It doesn't lock the knife in it correctly, though. If this notch was up here, the way it is on this Pathfinder knife, then you wouldn't have any problem, because in that position right there, the knife comes out easily, just very easy. In that position, and as you can see, I could slide that very easy. The knife does not really want to come out. In fact, I don't. Can't get the damn thing back in. Okay. In that position, if I yank with all my force, I can get it out. The reason is that it's keeping that Kydex from spreading right there at that point. And that point is on the other side of the lock. There's actually the lock where it locks in, and there is actually what is locking in to that sheath. And as you can see, the way that's made right there, it's made to where it just passes through, goes over the hump, and locks. Now, let's watch the Kydex Spread. Let me take the knife out. Okay. Lock it. Kydex won't spread. We'll go back to this one. Because of the rubber handle, there's quite a bit more resistance. And I'm not exactly for sure that this is actually for a Bushcraft Black, but I'll take their word for it. Because there is a tremendous amount of resistance the blade is causing right there. And my blade's smaller, not bigger, because I'm. But you know, it's too much force. In fact, it is way too much force. Then I go to this location. So really, the only difference is very minor between the amount of force that it takes to get it out. And I don't know. I would never buy one. How about this? I would never recommend you buying one. If you want to really learn how to do this, learn how to do it. This isn't exactly right. In fact, this isn't even slightly right. This lock is in the wrong position. They don't understand the mechanics of how it is, or I got a bad one, or they don't give a shit, or this, that, or the other. Usually your drain hole, if you're going to make one, make it just a little bit bigger, just because it's going to get crap in it if you're in water situations. Anyway, I wish I could tell you that I like the product, but I can't tell you that there's anything I like about the product, and I think I basically just threw away the money. And this is Guns, Knives, Watches. As I said, I'm not subservient to any manufacturer or anything. There are no friends in this business. And if you make something that is incorrect, I'm going to call you on it. This is Guns, Knives, Watches. Have a good one.